Hello, welcome to LadyZSpeaks. This is the second installment of my vlog. We're going to be reviewing my February blog of the month, and it is titled Work the Process. And before we get started, I just want to give a little disclaimer in that we hear a lot of inspiration on social media and we read the quotes and we listen to these motivational folks, but we've done a really good job of taking the scriptures out of the inspiration. And so what I hope to do is bring those back together for a lot of us. And the more that we read, the more that we study, the more that we will be able to hide the word in our heart and be able to connect the dots. And so for me, these days, when I hear something, like I need a little bit more than just a cute saying. Like I need some word. I need to understand and feel that it's really coming from God and there's some substance there to keep me motivated to move forward. And so that brings me to my most recent blog. It's Working the Process. And really what I want us to do is to be encouraged to stick with our purpose, to stick with our plan. And the scripture talks about our responsibility to help each other, to lift each other up, to hold each other accountable, and even to move in whatever purpose that God has for us. And so I want to make sure that we're staying on that track. So my scripture is Galatians 6 and 9. And so if you read through that, it starts talking about our responsibility to help other people. If you see somebody that's living in a bad way or in sin, you who are spiritual, who know the word, are supposed to help them. But then it also goes on to say that we should not fall into those same traps, but then we should not think that we're better than anybody. And so the scripture goes really into detail, and it's not very long, but it really touches on how we should help each other, but make sure that we're keeping ourselves on the right track and moving in the right direction. And it goes on to say that it may be difficult, like you may encounter some obstacles, but if you keep on the right path, you will reap benefits. You will get to your purpose if you don't give up, if you keep pushing, if you keep living in a way that is what God's purpose is for your life, if you keep focused on representing Christ to the fullest. And so that's really what my blog was focused on. And a lot of times we are so impatient, and I am guilty of this sometimes. We get so impatient, like I know what my purpose is. I feel like I know what I should be doing. I feel like I want to help this person. I want to start this ministry. I want to read all these books, yada, yada, yada. And then we move too fast. And so we almost get out in front of the purpose or out in front of God, and we end up on a different track or we mess things up. I talked about in my blog, I get impatient when it comes to cooking. So if I want to boil, make some spaghetti, or I'm making a salad and I want to put some eggs in there, I'm turning it all the way up. And so I need it to boil like right away. Or even if I put something in the oven, I, put it as high as possible to try to get it done faster, which we know that never works. Like you can't speed through cooking because it just messes up. Things boil over, things get burnt. But really, we should be more like the apple tree or a tree. And I went through this example of what all steps it takes for an apple to bloom, to blossom off a tree. And so I encourage you to go and read my blog or read about apple trees and how you have to get the soil and find the right land and water it and prune it and all of these different steps that goes into an apple tree. But it takes like 6 or so years for the first apple to even bloom off of a tree. But there's such a process to get to that end goal. But then while the tree or while the apple tree is waiting to bloom, just imagine being out in the middle of, outside, you're a tree, but all the elements, it's raining, it's too hot, animals are coming by and using the bathroom on you, climbing on you, breaking you down. And so that's essentially how what happens to us sometimes in life. Like, I have my purpose, I have my goals, I have my plan, I have my agenda. I'm going to help all these people. I'm going to do all of these great things. But then something happens. Somebody says something and now I'm discouraged, or somebody's doing it this way, so now I feel like I need to change, or somebody said that you're not doing it the right way, and so now I'm discouraged. I don't want to do it at all, or I have this plan, I failed this test. This didn't work out for me. And so all of these outside elements come and try to deter us or get us off track from what we should really be doing or what our end goal is. But if we just stay the course and don't give up, we'll eventually get there, because all of this is just part of the growth process. So once we get there, once I reach the end goal, now I have all this experience of overcoming obstacles, overcoming what somebody had to say about me, overcoming adversity, dealing with teaching myself discipline, teaching myself how to be strong and stand strong, and just being like the apple tree and ultimately producing fruit. So that's what we're really here to do. And so I hope that people are encouraged by that. And I had a quote on here. It says, "Don't give up, don't quit. You keep walking, you keep trying. There is help and happiness ahead. It will be all right in the end if you trust God and believe good things to come." And so I just hope that that helps somebody. I hope that we are encouraged by reading the scriptures. I hope that we spend some time understanding what our purpose is, understanding that it's not always easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk, whether it's a new business, whether it's a new relationship, whether it's a ministry, whether it's doing a video blog or whatever, raising a family, whatever that looks like. It sounds great in the beginning and it might be great for a while, but then you might run into some obstacles, and that's part of the process. So be encouraged by that, because the scripture tells us if we keep going, if we don't give up, we will indeed reap the benefits. And so if you have the faith, if you trust in God, if you work the process, it will definitely make it easier to deal with some of those obstacles, knowing that, okay, I know this isn't going to be an easy path, but I'm prepared for it. And so if I'm better prepared for these obstacles, if I've practiced, if I know that they're coming, if I look ahead a little bit, if I remember, okay, I just overcame this one obstacle, so I'm a little stronger now, I can deal with this next one, then you will be able to reach the finish line. So hopefully that was helpful for somebody. I encourage you guys to go back and read the full text of Galatians, read my blog, LadyZSpeaks, and just figure out how you can start to apply some of these principles to your everyday life, to your purpose. Pray, figure out what that looks like, and just be encouraged in moving forward. And so I thank you guys for taking time to listen. Continue to follow me, LadyZSpeaks, on Instagram, on Facebook, on my vlog live, and I'll talk to you guys next month.